Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Hudson London. This is the case of the Idaho. May the victims rest in peace. Condolence to the families. Today I'd like to talk about Hudson Lindo. He was a 19-year-old boy who was found unalived at Paradise Creek, that is not far from Alpha Kappa Lambda, and from the Greek life. There's a lot of sororities and fraternities there. Hudson Lindo is the young man with the yellow t-shirt in the middle. The other two, his face is blurred out. But what is interesting is the background that is circled. That is 1122 King Road. Hudson Lindo was found unalived in summer 2022. Is this just a weird coincidence that one of Hudson's last pictures was in front of 1122 King Road? I believe Hudson was friends with Dakota and Heather, the neighbors that had heard the loud thud on the floor. He was just 19 years old, just a child. I wonder if he was hazed to death, allegedly, or did he fall and hit his head, and was he thrown down the creek? Because he had a fall, he had a head injury. He fell on thick ice. He was found frozen in the creek due to hypothermia. Then you had Hannah Clear right before Hudson Lindo is unaliving. The police said that there was no foul play, both with Hudson Lindo, who was unalive somewhere in May, and Hannah Clear in late February 2022. And then we had the quadruples on the 13th of November, same year. And then we have Ethan Knight from the Banfield, who was out on bail for $25,000. His mother bailed him out. He unalived his father, Pow. He used a Pow to unalive his father and the father's dog. He said it was self-defense, although the prosecutors never believed him. He got away with that. But keep in mind, Ethan Knight was on bail when he was stopped at the Banfield, and he was wearing those night goggles or glasses. That's why I've always stuck with my theory about the Greek life, the fraternities, surviving roommates, and possibly some drug dealers in the local area. Nothing to do with every nights or such. Nothing happens in Idaho, Moscow, is what Everwood said, what Emily Allant said, what DM said, and what Bethany Funk said. Is that all just a coincidence? Scott Green is the president of the university. He's a businessman. He majored in business. And he's a billionaire. Why was he running the conferences, the police conference itself? Keep in mind, before Chief Fry became the chief in Moscow, Idaho, he was the chief of the police university. Do you see the connections? If the fraternities and sororities and surviving roommates were charged and convicted with this crime, with these horrific quadruples, then the reputation of the whole university goes down. Students wouldn't enroll. I've said that from day one. And 45% to 42% of Moscow, Idaho's income comes from this university. Keep that in mind. I know it sounds awful, but they're not thinking about 4 victims or 6 victims, including Hudson Lindow, may you rest in peace, and Hannah Clay, may she rest in peace. This has to do with money. If you follow the money, revenge, possibly rugs, jealousy, I think we're getting close to the motive. Because that was what 4chan was about.
And welcome to the Sunday News at 10 podcast. We start with a tragic story out of North Idaho. The Moscow Police Department says officers found the body of a young Boise man this morning. The body of 19-year-old Hudson Lindow of Boise was found in Paradise Creek near College Avenue in Moscow this morning. The Moscow Police Department says they responded to reports of a body in the creek around 11:30 this morning. The investigation is ongoing, but police say foul play is not suspected.
Sam Martinez was a 19-year-old bright student from Washington Pullman University. He was unalived by hazing. None of his frat brothers bothered to check on him while he was passed out on the sofa, although they hazed him, and the alcohol level in his body was up to the max. May he rest in peace. Luckily, because of Sam Martinez, a hazing law was made. And this was after a frat party, too. Over 12 boys were charged, but they all got away with misdemeanor. It was settled with lawsuits, compensations. Sam's parents put a lot of money into hazing programs and hazing awareness, which is good. One good thing that came out with this young man is unaliving. Obviously, there's nothing good, but Sam's law was passed. And Sam's law is against hazing. Where all the stuff when it's the older boys, the senior frat members, are hazing the juniors? Hudson Lindow, the young man from Idaho, Moscow, was found at Paradise Creek, frozen. He went missing at 12 at midnight and he was found next day at 11:30 a.m. And that was on a Sunday morning he was found, just like the Idaho quadruples. All 4 victims were found unalived, allegedly by DM and BF, around 12. Or they called the police at 11:58. Now Hudson Lindow from Moscow, Idaho, went to the same fraternity as Jack Showalter, aka Hoodie Guy from the grub truck, who was last seen with Maddie and Kaylee. According to Bethany Funk, he has a temper and a half. He has anger management. I wonder if he ever got counseling for that. I wonder if he's ever been to any group therapy for anger management. I wonder if he just has anger management, or could he have comorbidities with ADHD or other components. So it's not far-fetched that Hudson Lindow could have been hazed. He could have fallen on his head because a head injury was found on him, but the police said that was due to the fall. What if he was pushed out and thrown into Paradise Creek? I don't mean this young man. This is Sam Martinez, but I mean Hudson Lindow. I wonder, one of the last people to see Hudson Lindow at the party was Zana Canoodle, Maddie, Morgan, may they rest in peace, Jake, that's Maddie's boyfriend, Jake S., and Jack Showalter. I wonder if this young man was hazed, unalived, or pushed down by Showalter. Just a question. How come so much unalivings are happening around those 2 colleges is my question. So at 12 p.m., he was last seen walking down the road of Paradise Creek. He was found in Paradise Creek, so he must have fallen down, allegedly, or pushed down. He had a head injury. And look at the area. It's all Greek life. There was rumors in the beginning, just rumors, allegedly, that either Kaylee or Maddie was going to tell on who unalived Hudson Lindow. Could that be possible? Or maybe Hannah Clay? Because Showalter sounded like he said, "You know we are going to get you for that, Maddie," on the way to the grub truck. Threats were being passed that night. If anyone just stands here where Hudson is standing and turns around, you can see into 1122 King Road, his kitchen, properly. Anyone standing next to the sink would have been seen, especially if they did not have proper clothes on. Then you have Kaylee's veranda upstairs, so that is noticeable too. I think it was only Kaylee's bedroom that had curtains. No other room had curtains. DM's room had the white blinders. BF's room. DM, I think, had curtains. And Molly said that she could see somebody in the upstairs bathroom ducking up and down. So that means there wasn't curtains there for Molly to have seen it. Molly said ducking up and down. I wondered they weren't doing the action of poking. Trigger warning. Just a question. After what I saw at the Banfield, I can believe anything, in my opinion. It's not that I'm naive, it's just that anything is capable with these students. There was a lot of evilness, rituals, God forbid, revenge, hate, anger management, antisocial personality disorder behaviors allegedly going on. 6 students couldn't have just all been unalived within 1 year, and only 4 of them were considered as homicides. The other 2 were considered as accidents. Explain that. Although Hannah Clay's friends clearly say her torso was bleeding. Trigger warning. Do you all remember 4chan said that there was brewing beef from fall the year before? So from 2021 fall, I believe it's 2021 fall, when Hudson Lindow took this picture, there's brewing beef. Did Hudson Lindow run his mouth? Did you find out something? What about Caden Young? That makes 7 victims. Were all these victims being silenced? Were they informers? Allegedly. What was actually going on?
Tonight with a first-hand look at the investigation into the death of Sam Martinez nearly 2 years ago in Pullman. The WSU freshman was just 19 years old when he died after an event at the Alpha Tau Omega fraternity at Washington State University. Good evening and thank you for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Whitney Ward.
Welcome everyone, I'm Mark Hanrahan. 15 men who were members of that fraternity at the time are now facing misdemeanor charges of furnishing liquor to...
Years old when he died after an event at the Alpha Tau Omega fraternity at Washington State University. Good evening and thank you for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Whitney Ward.
Welcome everyone, I'm Mark Hanrahan. 15 men who were members of that fraternity at the time are now facing misdemeanor charges of furnishing liquor to a minor. Police spoke with dozens of friends and witnesses the morning that Sam was found dead and in the following weeks as well. Prem 2 investigative reporter Ian Spade live in the newsroom tonight with more on what happened that night and if the events of that night could be considered hazing. Ian?
Yeah, good evening, Mark and Whitney. A big subject of conversation surrounding Sam Martinez's death has been the Pullman Police Department saying they believed hazing laws were violated, but the statute of limitations expired by the time that recommendation was made. One of the people police talked to that morning was the morning Martinez was found dead, was then fraternity president Luke Hawksford. Hawksford said he briefly saw Martinez the night he died at the fraternity's Big Little Reveal event. He confirms with police that the last time he saw Martinez was he was being carried down the stairs to be laid down on a couch because he was heavily intoxicated.
Or when you saw Wes, and I don't know Wes's last name. Oswald. Okay, so Wes and a couple of freshmen, like 5 freshmen, were headed down the stairs to take Sam down to the chapter room.
Yes, I assume they were going to the chapter room because that's kind of where people take people when they've had too much to drink.
County coroner would go on to determine that Martinez died of alcohol poisoning, and his blood alcohol level was measured at .372 at the time of his death. Police had been told by some of the people they interviewed that it was believed that older fraternity members had hazed Martinez and his freshman peers that night. That alleged hazing included the older members pushing the younger members to get as drunk as they could. But another fraternity member who was receiving his little brother that night, Finn Anderson, told police during a phone call that it was a choice for the younger members.
Like if they want to do it, big little night, you're like, yes, they we have alcohol, it's gonna be fun, we're gonna hang out and drink all night, stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's kind of the idea of it, I guess.
Anderson is also facing a charge of furnishing liquor to a minor. Now, these accusations of hazing at ATO, both that night and in general, are part of what led the Pullman Police Department to say they believe hazing occurred, even though the clock had run out on bringing hazing charges against any suspects. But Hawksford says they had tried to crack down on hazing due to previous problems for the fraternity.
Yeah, I mean, we've been really trying to ever since I've been president, we've been trying to crack down on hazing because my freshman year we went through a membership we know like what happens when you do that. So
Hoxford and Anderson are two of the 15 people charged with at least one count of furnishing liquor to a minor. Now, this isn't the only thing we are learning about from the police records and body camera videos. Whitney, you also found out more about the university's view on if hazing happened and the reluctance of some witnesses to tell police about possible hazing at the fraternity.
Ian, thank you very much. Yeah, also in the days immediately after Sam died, WSU suspended the fraternity from campus. They also issued a letter, so take a look at that. They said if the allegations of what happened that night proved to be true, that it would indeed be a violation of hazing rules as well as a number of other university standards of conduct. As police, though, tried to build their case, they consistently came up short, often saying witnesses and friends were not fully cooperative and wouldn't share information that could have helped them pursue more serious felony charges. Take a listen now as police tried to interview a friend of Sam's about a month after his death.
It was like a middle of the night, and all the pledges were hazed to drink a fifth of vodka each, and for a time he was just left alone for a long period.
And you aren't willing to tell me who you heard that from?
I don't know. I really don't know. What would happen if I told you a name?
I would go talk to that person.
Yeah, I don't really feel comfortable naming any names. I just wanted to, I don't know, I just followed the news, and you said if you know anything, please call Pullman Police, and that's what I know.
Okay. Well, and I appreciate you calling me, but I'm going to let you know I can't do anything with the information that you provided me.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay.
So the Alpha Tau Omega chapter at WSU has been suspended until at least 2026. As for the 15 suspects facing misdemeanor charges, they are all expected in court for first appearances next week.
So this is an excellent example of what the students, witnesses allegedly, at Moscow, Idaho, must have been going through. When the girl was asking Pullman University, college, about her friend, Sam Martinez is hazing, she didn't want to be involved. Precautions, obviously. She doesn't need that. But why don't they have more cameras, more staff? She says, yeah, I don't really feel comfortable naming any names. I just wanted to, I don't know. I just saw it on the news and you said if I hear anything to call Pullman Police. That's what I know. And then the detective tells her, if you can't give me more information, then I can't take your report. And the girl says that's okay. Do you all see how easy the students are being let go by not giving the information? Which I understand the students too. So the correct justice wouldn't be served. Nobody wants to talk. Is that what happened to Hudson, Lindo? Is that what happened to Hannah Clear? Is that what happened to the Idaho 4? And is that what happened to Caden Young, in my opinion? All the other students are silenced to talk. Otherwise, they could be next, in my opinion. Plus you have Demetrius and Emma running the show on the other side. So did Hudson Lindo bump into Showalter? Allegedly. If Showalter suffers of anger management, he owns K-bars. He's been a hunter since he was barely 14, 15. He's a junior professional wrestler. All that comes into play. And he can't control himself. He has anger management. And the girl at the flatbread Boise bakery that worked with Koberger said that she had to slap him to get him out of her way. And he was good in calling females terrible names. Showalter said he doesn't know Kaylee, but he knew Maddie. He was friends with Jake, Maddie's boyfriend. You could see he was conversating more with Maddie at the corner club where he was talking to Kaylee too. Zana and Ethan, Hunter, Emily, Bethany Funk, DM, David Lodge, David B., Peter Anglis, they all, and many more of them, Saeed, used to all chill together. So what happened? What kicked off is my question. Let me know, guys, what you'll think. This is all my opinion. It's all alleged, nothing else. It's been 3 years since quadruples happened, and I'm still sticking to my theories that the fraternity's surviving roommates and the college students had something to do with it. But let's not misunderstand. 3 unidentified male DNAs were found in the scene, and 3 unidentified male DNAs were found under Maddie Morgan's nails. So I've always said I believe it was 3 separate groups, organizations who did this horrific crimes. Let me know what you'll think. Please like, share, and subscribe.